Hi, everyone. We realized some couldn't make it to our class tonight, so we wanted to record this for you so that you could get a basic idea of what essential oils are, how they work, why we use them, and why Donna and I both choose and trust in Young Living essential oils. So let's just get started. What are essential oils? Essential oils are really the most uh, powerful part of the plant. They're what helps that plant thrive and survive and keep living. The oil actually comes from different parts of the plant. In some plants, it's the flower. In some living things, it's the bark or the resin or other parts of it. Let me give you an example. An orange, when you have orange essential oil from Young Living, do you know what this part of the plant it comes from? It's not the inside where we get the juice that we love. No, it's that rind. That outward rind is where the juice comes, or not the juice, is where the oil comes to make this bottle of Young Living essential oil. So it comes from different areas. The important thing about that and the comforting thing is, you know what that tells you? Young Living essential oils aren't created in a lab. They're not synthetic. They're not man made. This bottle of orange is an actual oil from the orange. This bottle of lemon, it takes 75 lemon rinds to make this one bottle. And so that's a comfort to us to know that we are getting something pure from the earth that has no synthetics within it. But what is more important is not only knowing where it comes from, but that it works. Okay. I'll give you an example. I know someone who I met about a year ago, and she used essential oils. She had not used Young Living. Standing there having a conversation with her, and I'm like, well, what do you think of this peppermint? So I hand her the peppermint, and she smells it, and immediately she says to me, "Oh, that's real peppermint. Oh, that's so different from my peppermint." So see, she recognized immediately just by the smell. It immediately opened up her airways, and she's now a Young Living member. So it's not just where it comes from; it's that it works.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's important to us. That's why we get these oils, right? Something else about the oils, they support every system in your body, okay? From your respiratory to your digestive to your immune system. We all know how important our immune and respiratory is right now to support. They help our emotions, they help us with sleep. They help our muscles and joints if we've worked a long day or worked out or whatever. So, every system in our body, there are essential oils to help support it. Um, there are three ways to use essential oils. We're going to speak of all three, but before I do want to make it known that Young Living is worldwide and every country has their own set of regulations. So at this time in South Africa, there are two ways that we can openly share with you how to use essential oils, and that is aromatically, and so that means breathing it in. Whether you actually open the peppermint, put a drop in your hand, take a couple of deep breaths. Actually, take 4 or 5. Really take some deep breaths. Or aromatically also means you see I have my owl diffuser going here. You see it coming out really strong there. That's aromatically. That's breathing it in. That means we're enjoying the scent, but boy, oh boy, it's so much more than a scent. It's actually supporting our body, and we don't even realize what it's doing, right? So, aromatically. The other way is topically. Maybe I want to support, I would just keep peppermint. Maybe I want to support my digestion. So I can reach for peppermint, put a drop in my hand, and then put it where I need it. So if I'm talking digestion, I'm going to rub it on my stomach area. If you're taking lavender for sleep, well, then you're going to rub it maybe up here near your neck, on your chest, somewhere where you can smell it while you sleep. So topically is the other way. The third way, I'm just going to briefly mention because hopefully eventually in South Africa, this will be open to you as well to openly talk about, and that's internally. Here in the United States, we can take oils internally. An example, thieves. If I'm concerned about my immune system, I feel like I'm falling below the wellness line, I can reach for my thieves. I can put it in a teaspoon of honey, put a drop. I can put it in a hot tea. I can put a drop directly under my tongue and take. And the majority of essential oils can be taken internally. If ever you want to know more about that, then we can talk about that privately. But for now, know that topically and aromatically are the two ways to really support you in using essential oils. Did you know that your skin is the largest organ in your body? So, whatever you put on your skin will penetrate into that skin, into your cells, into your bloodstream, whether it's good or bad. Now, why do I mention that? Because the products we use everyday products, shampoo, lotion, hairspray, makeup, soap, the hand sanitizer, these are all affecting us, okay, for good or bad. We may not realize it at the moment, but when we look back, we may realize, wow, that may be why I have skin issues or hormone issues or reproductive issues. Um, that's another way that essential oils have been a lifesaver for most of us. Something we didn't even realize when we first got our kit was how much these could actually help all of these other things in our life by using them and by reaching for something that was plant based instead of something that was full of synthetic or harsh chemicals. Um, Something else you need to know about Young Living is why we choose Young Living. What is it that makes Young Living stand apart? Donna's going to tell us about that.
Okay, so for me, this is one of the biggest reasons why I love Young Living. So hopefully you can see this. It says seed to seal.
There you
So
go.
our seed to seal guarantee is one of the reasons why I love Young Living. What does that mean? It means that we have control over the seeds. They hand pick the best seeds from the last year's crop, that are going to produce the best, are going to have the best constituents in them for the next crop. Then they plant them at a certain time of the year. They use land. This is important, and this is pretty impressive to me. They use land that has been 50 years without pesticides. Anything else organic in the U.S., the land only has to be 7 years without pest control. Young Living says, no, that's not good enough. We want land that is 50 years without any kind of pest control, any chemicals on it. So right there, you're getting when that seed goes in the ground, it's there's no chemicals going to be in there. Then we have the harvesting process, which things are hand weeded. We don't use chemicals to get rid of the weeds. They use specific uh, plants. They might plant, I can't remember what they call that, but they plant a certain crop next to another crop. And that keeps that other crop keeps the bugs away from say the lavender or the goldenrod or whatever it is. They also use ladybugs. They use praying mantis to make sure that there's no pests that are going to contaminate the plants that they need to use for the essential oils. And then we have the harvesting, which is by hand. That costs a lot more money than if you were going to use other methods. And then our distillation process is is above all the other ones. It's like a proprietary it's distillation process, and it has to be done at a certain temperature. If the temperature is too high in the distillery, it can ruin that oil for a therapeutic reason. So everything that Young Living does is precise. And then when we seal the bottle, when it's sealed, you know that you're getting the best oil possible. Other companies just don't have those standards. They don't want to go through all that trouble. Young Living does, and that is one of the reasons why I love Young Living. Also, we have. I'm going to show you some farms, if you can see that. So we have our own farms, and we have them all over the world. There's one in South Africa, and we have them in Australia. We have them in the United States. There's many, many farms in the United States. Croatia has one. And we also have partner farms. The partner farms are ones that are not, of course, corporate owned, but they have to go by the same standards. They're like fully vetted to make sure that they are going to do what Young Living requires to make sure those standards stay this high. So when you open that bottle of oil and you smell it, you're going to smell the exact thing that's on the bottle. Like Kim said, the orange. It is from the best oranges. And when you open it and you smell it, you're like, wow, you feel like you're in an orange grove. But these things, these practices that Young Living has is important, because if you go down to the corner store and you pick up an oil, you have no idea what's in there. You really don't. It can say 100% pure. It doesn't mean a thing on that bottle because there's really no regulations. At least here in the US, there's no really regulations for that. So you have to trust the company, just as in the same way that you might, there might be another product that you want to get. And you say, well, we'll just say, we'll talk about phones for a minute. Some people will only use an Apple phone because they feel like Apple is the best product out there. They know the company, they know how it's made. Instead of getting another knockoff, like a throwaway phone from the local store that they may not be able to get enough Wi-Fi or whatever it is, you have to know the company that you're getting your oils from, because actually this means your health. It's not just a phone trying to connect with somebody. This means your health, and you want the best oils for your health.
Thank you. Um, so then, now that we know what they are, why they work, or how they work, and why we choose Young Living, the next question is, where do you start? Where do you even begin? If you're like me, I knew nothing about essential oils when my sister first told me about them. So where do you start? Well, Young Living makes it so wonderful that they put together starter bundles to help people get started. For instance, one of the bundles that you have available in South Africa is you get 10 oils and a diffuser. Now, the oils behind Donna and me, these are the exact same oils. The difference is you could choose either the Feather the Owl diffuser or the diffuser that you see in Donna's picture there, the Dewdrop diffuser. The oils are the exact same. The diffusers work very similar. This one does have some sound with it, so you do have the option of listening to it rain or the ocean waves. But the beauty of these oils is Young Living puts a lot of thought into what oils would help people in everyday life. And the oils you see setting before us are oils that typically even Donna and I use every day or every week. On a regular basis, we go through these oils. So let's talk about a few. One of my very, very favorite is this one, Valor. Valor Essential Oil. This is a blend from Young Living. You can't get this blend from any other company. It's specifically Gary Young created this blend. Valor makes you think of courage. For a lot of people, they will take a drop of this oil before they speak in front of someone, put it in their hand, rotate it in their hand, rub it on their necks or maybe on their wrist, and take a couple of really deep breaths just to help you sort of relax before you stand in front of people and talk. People will even put it in their diffuser bracelet so they can keep smelling that as they talk. But you know what's fascinating is each oil doesn't just have one use. So whereas someone who gets nervous in front of people or in crowds may reach for Valor for that reason, someone else may reach for Valor because it helps them sleep. It helps them relax and sleep. You know why I reach for Valor? It is for muscle and joint support. I have an injured knee, and this is what keeps me from having to take anything else. I can reach for Valor, put a drop on my knee, and immediately begin to feel it relax a little bit so that I can continue about my day. And that's just a few reasons. there are many other reasons that people reach for valor. And you will find that about all the oils. Um, an oil that may work well for me to support my head if I'm having tension, for Donna, it may be a completely different oil. So that's the beauty of these oils. They support so many different body systems. The other oil, I debated what other oil did I want to talk to you about. But I think the other oil I'm going to talk to you about today briefly, because I already mentioned peppermint and how you could use it for digestion, is this one. I've used this a lot the last 2 weeks. Eucalyptus radiata. Eucalyptus radiata. When you think eucalyptus, and that's something I know is very common in South Africa, is eucalyptus. What do you typically reach for it for? Respiratory. When I think eucalyptus radiata, the essential oil, I think of supporting my respiratory system, opening up my airways. You can just breathe, take in a breath, a eucalyptus, and you feel it, just like you do with peppermint. You feel it moving through there and making it easier for you to breathe. So these past few weeks, when I did fall below the wellness line, this was one of my best friends to help keep my airways open and to really support my respiratory. Because you know what? Oils, these essential oils really help the cells, remind the cells in your body what they need to do. Because whenever our body is fighting something, there are things that can get in there, toxins or whatever, that can really mess up the cells in our body and they want to turn on each other or whatever. But essential oils help remind those cells what it is they're there to do. And so in this case, it was to support my respiratory system. So I think Donna is going to tell us about a few of the oils that she likes.
Right. So I decided, let me get them out here first. So I decided to talk about lavender and thieves. So first we're going to talk about lavender. So lavender is one of the first oils that I didn't think I was going to like it because I thought, oh, I've smelled lavender before. Old ladies smell like lavender. Not true. Not when you have true lavender. That's not cut with anything. There's no synthetics in here. There's no additives. It's just from the lavender plant. So what is lavender good for? We call it the Swiss Army knife of oils, meaning a Swiss Army knife has, a spoon, a fork, a screwdriver, a knife. It has everything in it. So no matter what situation you're in, you can go to that. That's what lavender is. Whatever you need this for, basically it's going to adapt. So if you are having anything seasonal, when the seasons change and you may have things happening in your nose and your throat, you can reach for lavender. You can also reach for lemon and peppermint along with lavender, put it in the diffuser, and it's going to really help the air quality. If you are feeling a little tense, a little anxious, that's when most people think of lavender. They think, oh, it's a calming oil. And that is true. So how would you use that though? You can put it in your diffuser. You can take a drop, put it in your hand. Let me get a drop out of there. Rub it around. And just like Kim said, deep breath. Do it again. You can put it on your diffuser, Julie. This happens to be a leather flower, so I could put it on here if I wanted. Any way that you want to get that in your system. In the United States, we have lavender that's vitality. That means that you can take it internally. But for South Africa, we'll keep it topical and aroma. So topically, you saw that I put it in my hand. But if I had something going on my arm, maybe, I don't know, some bumps, lumps, or I scraped myself, lavender is excellent for that. Say you have some bug bites, put lavender. We have fire ants and we have mosquitoes in Florida. I live in Florida, USA. So lavender is something that I use a lot. If you get too much sun, I know it's summertime down there. So if you get too much sun, dilute some lavender with another fatty oil like jojoba, coconut oil, something, mix it together, rub it on your skin. It's going to soothe that. Also, one other thing is for sleep support. So you can put this in your diffuser at night, put it on, have a nice sound sleep. great for the children. Don't forget, you can use our oils on children. So you can put it on the bottom of their feet as well, or put it in the diffuser, put it in that little owl, that cute owl diffuser, and put it in the kids' rooms and let them have a restful night's sleep, especially now that we're having, with the world situation the way it is, everybody's having that anxiety, that pandemic stress. We need to relax and relax our systems, and lavender will do that. The other one I wanted to speak about was thieves. It's one of my favorites. So let me tell you the legend of thieves. So thieves, the legend is that in the 15th century, that when the plague was happening back then, there was people that were robbing the dead and the dying, but they weren't getting the plague because they had the botanicals that are in this oil. So they had rosemary, eucalyptus. We talked about eucalyptus, lemon, um, clove, and cinnamon. And they would use that and maybe put it around their neck or however they wore it. And they would not get the plague. They did not get sick. So Gary Young, the founder of Young Living, knew that legend, and people have been using those herbs for centuries for the same purpose. And he made this oil. So guess what this oil is good for? The same thing. So at this time of that's happening all over the world, thieves is my best friend. I use it on my feet before I go out. I can this is also in the Vitality line in the US, so I can say I can put it in my mouth. You can also use it with a carrier oil, because remember, this is a strong oil. We call it a hot oil. It has cinnamon and clove. So you'd want to put this in your hand, put a little carrier oil, and then you could rub it on your neck. You could rub it on your chest. Smell it. Always smell it. And don't forget to put it in your diffuser. You can use this along with orange. Excellent, excellent immune system support. So these is also used for many, many, many things. You could put this in a little bit of water. You could gargle. And let me show you something. I brought two other products out with me today. These also have thieves essential oil in them. We have a whole line of products that uses that thieves oil. Why? Because it's good for the immune system. It's a healing oil. So this week, I'm going to tell you a little experience real quick. I've been having some problems with my teeth and going to the dentist for my teeth problems. And so the dentist had said, well, I want to give you some other mouthwash, all the stuff that had chemicals in it. And I said, don't worry, I got this. I said, I use thieves oil, which I told her what it was. And I said, I have thieves mouthwash, which has thieves in it, has this oil in it, has some colloidal silver and some other good things, all natural. So I've been rinsing with this, and then I put a drop directly on my gum. So when I went in yesterday, she says, well, let's see if you need a root canal. And she says, I can't believe you don't need a root canal. I said, I told you I've been using my Thieves products. She went, oh, you did say that, didn't you? So I'm getting my bridge put in, and I'm going to get my permanent bridge soon. But that was like amazing to me. So those are what these oils can do. They really help to support you. Whatever you're going through, it's going to help you to deal with that problem and move forward with that. So those are my
Thank
oils.
you. Donna, that's a great experience. Absolutely great experience. So we're not going to talk about all the others. We talked about 4, but we at least want you to know today what other oils are in this kit. So it's oils, I mentioned peppermint. Then we have frankincense. We have orange, lemon, citronella. We know that's very important to keep the bugs away. And then we have purification. Now, purification is a blend of oils. Again, this is specific to Young Living, a blend that they have created to help purify the air. So that's the 10 oils that you get to choose from. You can then choose the owl in your kit, in your starter bundle. With the owl through the end of the month, it is 2,194 Rand. With Donna's diffuser and her background there, the Dewdrop, it's
2268. Yep.
Yes, thank you. 2,268 Rand. So a little bit different. This is the special. this month through the end of the month. But again, let's just sort of think about why does any of this matter? We talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but what we need to keep in mind is it doesn't matter that we're in the United States and you're in South Africa. The truth of the matter is we are all affected by our environment. And do you know what the number 2 cause of death worldwide is? It's cancer. And it's interesting when you get to reading and listening to scientists and doctors that talk about this. Research shows that 90 to 95% of all cancers is not caused because we inherited it from our parents. It's caused because of our environment, what we're eating, what we're putting on our skin, what we're breathing, what we're drinking. So that's where using essential oils can really make all the difference in helping our body support itself so that it can do what it was intended to do, which was to live and to thrive. And so that's where these starter kits and using essential oils comes in. You know, we're all the gatekeepers of our home. We can't control a lot of things, but typically within our home, we have more control as to what comes in. And so using essential oils is a great place to start to support your overall health and wellness. I think that's it. Can you think of anything else? And by the way, everyone, because you know it's Kim and Donna, but this is Claudia that joined us here with us. And she's been using essential oils much longer even than we have. Would you like to share anything?
I just wanted to talk about that at this time, the owl bundle that Kim is showing you, for it to be on sale, it's priceless without the sale. But the desert diffuser kit and the owl diffuser kit, to give you that bundle, is the most for your money. And at this time, it's a beautiful way to use it for your family, as a form of security, as a form of investment, as a, you know, whether it's for business, but even if it wasn't for business, if this wasn't our business, I think all 3 of us here would still be Young Living customers because of what we want to protect. Even Donna's mouth, for me, is something priceless because I too have mouth issues. And, you know, it's like when they say, oh, you might need a root canal. You know, for us, we're thinking about the money, we think about the pain, we think about, and then they're looking like, you don't need a root canal. So just the Thieves toothpaste and the Thieves mouthwash, if you saw it, you'd be like, oh my goodness, how expensive is that? But Donna didn't get a root canal. And that made it buy one, get one free, you know? So if you look at the value of what essential oils can do for you personally, you know, as a bundle, as you get to touch, as you get to experiment, you are going to fall in love with the oils, the product, and things that the earth gives us.
Yes, that's well said. Thank you very much. We're going to put this up on YouTube so that you can watch this at your leisure when you're able to over there. Please keep in mind, do not hesitate to reach out. You can message me there on YouTube, or many of you that are connected with us on WhatsApp, ask us questions. We're here to help. There are other starter bundles. We will gladly share those with you as well, in case one of those is your interest lies instead of this way. But we appreciate your watching this video, and we can't wait to talk to you in the future. So have a good day.
Bye.